I have to say that I am really sick to my stomach right now. I am emotionally over the top right now. I had no idea that this film was going to mirror my life. I had no idea that this film would mirror my entire story, my entire case. I feel like I know her. I feel like she knows me. I spent 20 years in prison for killing my abuser. I had 4 co-defendants, so they charged me with conspiracy to murder. I also had a life insurance policy on my abuser that his family knew about, that they used the insurance policy against me to say that I conspired to have him killed. Without going into much detail, because I really don't have the strength after watching this film, I too was faced with so much legality while in prison trying to fight my way out. Every door was closed in my face for 20 years. I applied for clemency 3 times. I applied for work release twice, and I was denied. I went back into court on a hearing where my co-defendant who testified against me turned around and then testified that everything that he said was a lie, and I was still denied. I too found out that I was sick in prison. I had a stroke while I was in prison, and I'm living with an aneurysm. Yet I'm free. And after seeing this film, I wonder how free I really am. Because all of my sisters are still inside, fighting to get out. Because no laws in New York stand to free any of us. After 20 years of being incarcerated, obtaining my bachelor's degree, doing all that I could possibly do to make myself different, not even so much wanting to persuade a parole board, but I needed to make a change in myself. I went to the parole board last January 2010 and was hit at the board for 24 months. I can remember praying. I can remember crying. And I can remember feeling like I wanted to just give up. And I did. I can remember going to sleep and not wanting to wake up because my mother had died waiting for me to get out of prison, her only child, as I was handcuffed and shackled to her bedside to see her for the last time. My daughter was 8 years old when I got locked up, when my son was 2. My daughter was also molested by my abuser. 8 weeks later, Albany realized that they had made a mistake in some paperwork, and I went back to the parole board. And I was released May 6, 2010. Since I've been home, I've been working with anything and all that has to do with formerly incarcerated men and women. I was fortunate enough to be able to come home and reside with my real father and work at my church for about 4 months until I got a job working at Steps, working with Sister Mary Ernie as a reentry specialist. So I counsel women that are coming home from prison and jail that have domestic violence cases. I work closely at the CA with Jaya and everyone else that's involved to hopefully one day be able to clap my hands and say, thank God New York has allowed a law to pass that will free women who are incarcerated for domestic violence cases. I don't know how much more to say, but to ask you all to just stand strong and connected and believe that something can change, can happen, and that a law can actually come into place to free all of our aunts, mothers, sisters, daughters, cousins, whoever it might be, whether it's closely related to you or someone that you know who has a family member that's incarcerated. Continue to believe and have hope, because I do. I never thought that I would be able to stand here and speak about this. I speak in churches, I speak in hospitals, I speak to whoever will listen to my story, and trust and believe what I shared with you just now is a small piece, a very small piece of everything that I have endured. I am so sorry that this woman died, but she did not die in vain. I was sitting there watching the film, thinking about how I was going to be able to write her, because I was sitting thinking that she didn't get out. I didn't know that she was going to get out and then pass away. And my heart was wrenching. My stomach was turning, because I was already thinking about the letter that I was going to write to her. And she's gone. So all I can do is continue to pray and write letters to those who left behind. Deal with parole and all their nonsense. Deal with the laws, and hopefully one day be able to stand and clap my hands saying, we made it, and we finally got a little pass.